So the big question today is, should you have male friends while in the dating scene? Today I'll be sharing 3 reasons why you should. My name is Joan Nwosu, and welcome to the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. Davide is a nice guy, like an alright nice guy. Love him to bits. But the man has no filter. So a couple of days ago, I was heading out with a friend. I was wearing a wine collar dress, and she was dressed in this lovely leopard print blouse, very feminine blouse, I might say. But when he saw her, his reaction was, why do you look so aggressive in that leopard print? And she's a good friend, so we laughed it off and we joked about it. And I said to her, you know what, I'm going to tell Davide, he can't make such comments. Come on. And she was like, no, please. I appreciate it, because that way I have a better understanding of what men like to see. Because for her, she thought she was dressed in a very feminine way, very, very, very sexy looking without being too revealing. It was a pretty top. Even to me, it was a pretty top. But here Davide was seeing something completely different that both of us were missing. So she said, no, please, I would love to have that. And then it got me thinking, this is one of the reasons why having a male friend in your life can be beneficial, especially when you're going through the dating scene. So here are my top 3 reasons why having that male BFF is so key. I have a couple of male BFFs. I have one specifically for fashion. Like, he would give me fashion tips all day, every day. No filter too. So the first one really is around your clothing selection, your choice of clothing, especially when you're going on a date. The truth is, the way women perceive clothing and the way men perceive clothing are completely different. Styles are completely different. What a man appreciates in a woman, the way she dresses, the colors, and the fitting is completely different from how a woman will look at another woman and be like, wow, you look like the bomb. So having a male friend that can give you some ideas or some tips, or maybe when you dress up, you can send in the picture, which is what I used to do with my friend Edward. And sometimes you'll say that's a 0 out of 10, or you look like a monkey. You look like, he has no filter. He would just tell me straight, no, this does not work. And the truth is, every single time he will say 10 out of 10 or 9 out of, I don't think he ever gave me a 10, to be honest. But if he said a 9 out of 10, or that looks amazing, or, bombshell or whatever, I would go on dates and exactly the same. The men would give me exactly the same compliment. In fact, the whole people in the restaurant would just randomly come and give me the same compliments. So it's quite important, I think, anyway, at this stage in the game, when you're going out on dates and trying to meet your significant other, is to take the perspective of a man into consideration in the form of a male BFF, not someone you're having a relationship with or someone you're dating, but a platonic male friend can give you ideas on your clothing. The second reason is men can usually decode men because they're men. So it's easier for them to call BS. We know how, as women, we do get carried away. We hold on to every single word a man is saying. We take it literally. We think he means it. Some men on the first day, they will start saying to you, "You're my wifey," or "I want you to be my wife." Well, I recently last year, discovered that when a man says wifey, doesn't mean he wants to marry you. Who would have thought? I thought wifey meant my future wife or something like that. Well, anyway, it turns out that it's a no. So having a male friend can help you decode some of the true intentions, some of the words that men use in messages, in conversations. They can read between the lines and maybe save you from potential heartache. Wouldn't that be helpful? Well, I think it would. So having that male friend that you can talk to and confide in, you don't necessarily have to tell him every single thing, but at least certain things that are bugging you, if you feel uncomfortable about certain things that are said, or you read a text and you don't truly understand what it means, you can share it with a male friend and he will be sure to give you the true meaning, because men understand men and women, we may never understand men, and vice versa. Okay, so that's the second point. The third one is getting dating advice along the way. So a couple of days, rewind, I did release a video about why you shouldn't go to your friends for advice, and the one of the reasons, because as women, we usually go to other women, or we go to even single women for advice to decode a man, right? So even as long as your relationship is progressing, as you're moving from dating to trying to move into more of a committed relationship, you will get to the point where the storms will show up. this is where the relationship becomes threatened. And a lot of people are not able to go through that storm, right? This is the point where now everybody is no longer on their best behavior. People are starting to show their true colors. And then it becomes a little bit more difficult to navigate this storm. As women, we try to run to other women who use our logical mind to try and figure it out, not necessarily thinking from a man's perspective. And then all hell breaks loose and the relationship is over. So the role that a male friend can help in this is when the storms start to show up, the male friend can give you a perspective that can help you to navigate this turbulent, stormy phase, because every relationship is going to get to that point where the storm hits and sometimes we're just not able to figure it out on our own. So having that male friend can help you tap into the male psyche so that you truly understand what's going on in his mind. You know, when a man acts a certain way, what that means, what you should do or not do to get a certain reaction or to calm the situation or to help you move forward in the relationship. Having a male friend that can do that for you, absolutely priceless. Yes, women, we help each other in other things, but when it comes to dealing with men, let's just be honest here, we're not so good at that. So again, if you really want to build a long-lasting, healthy relationship, it might be worth it investing in having a male friend that can really hold your hand and guide you and be very, very loving, but be very objective about your relationship and tell you the truth, because that's what you need to hear. And then tell you some ways that you can improve or you can avoid certain situations that happen in your relationship, because I'm telling you, the storm will show up. And when it shows up, who are you going to rely on? Who are you going to rely on? It is so key. So those are my 3 reasons why, for me, having male BFFs has really been beneficial for me in my life. And you might say to me, Joan, well, I'm who I am. I have my own personal style. I love to only wear black. I love being comfortable. I love this. I love to wear jeans. I was one of those people. I even wanted to wear jeans on my wedding day. Can you beat that? You can say that, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, you're trying to achieve something. You're trying to accomplish something. It's the same way you wouldn't show up to a job interview in joggers, or you wouldn't go to a wedding in jeans, right? Like me, like I wanted to do. So understanding the impact of how we show up and having somebody that can guide you and can tell you this works or this doesn't work. Well, from a man's perspective, this is what I see, or this is what I'm reading, this is how I'm feeling about the way you look or the words that you say or the arguments that you're choosing to have, can really save you a lot of heartache and can make this process a lot quicker than it needs to be. It doesn't need to be prolonged. You need to be able to attract the right kind of man to make sure that you're able to move the relationship along quickly to get to that committed, loving relationship that we all desire and we're looking for. So the same way you prepare for a job interview, or you prepare for a new business, or you prepare for a presentation or a speech, whatever it is, it's the same way you need to take the time to prepare and invest in some of the things that you need to be able to have the relationship of your dreams. There is no magic wand. There is no abracadabra that's going to happen. You have to do the work. And part of doing the work is understanding that as a woman or as a man, it is quite impossible for you to really thoroughly understand what the other partner is thinking. So sometimes you do need help along the way. So I want to encourage all of you today, and I want to say a big thanks to my BFF, Edward. He's been with me over 25 years and really guiding me in all my relationships. No filter at all. And I truly appreciate that, because he's someone I know that I can lean on. And I really wish the same for all of you listening, that maybe if you have some male friends that you know, they're great guys, but you don't really have a deep relationship, start to invest in those relationships and start to build it to the point where you have a confidant, you have a support system that you can go to help you along this journey of love. Because boy, oh boy, when the storms show up, you need all the help that you can. So that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. It was a little bit different, right? But thanks for listening to the Second Chances podcast, a love journey in black and white. Till next time, sending you love and light.